All right, guys, it is December 13th, and I want to say thank you so much for making this Tuesday night team call at the Team Tribe. We have this call every Tuesday night. We do not always record it. It's fact that 99.9% of the time it will not be recorded, but because of the message being shared and with other leaders stepping up and wanting to speak on our team, they've offered and they allowed this to be recorded. So I want to make sure that everyone who makes the call is able to make the call. Do not expect this to be a regular occurrence, but enjoy it, and hopefully you'll take someone away tonight and maybe be able to watch this more than once. But either way, I want to start kicking things off with a couple of little things in news. One is Beachbody has updated their elite requirements. So if you want to be an elite coach next year or premier coach next year, you have to be at least 2-star diamond by the end of the year in order to get invited to any of the leaderships, and for having, as well as they're giving away an elite point for every 500 personal volume points that are accumulated from your customers. So being a top mover and shaker is really, really important. It's really, really simple, just getting people on demand and whatnot if you can, and those will feed into your numbers. But every 500 will be worth an elite point. Personally, I think it's a huge advantage, and it's going to help a lot of people hit elite that may have missed it last year. It's really placing the importance of this company to taking care of your customers first. So on that note, tonight I'm going to have you guys hear from 2 other people. They came out to GoPro. GoPro, if you do not know, is the event that we came out of with Eric Warre. And it was this long event in which we got booklets that we came away with, where we were able to take notes in and whatnot. And it's a life-changing experience, and we're going to have 2 people sharing what they got from it. Just so you know, Kevin Jensen has told me he is down to 6 tickets. 6 tickets. So if you have not reserved your ticket with him, you better get on it, because honestly, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. So I know for the fact that Amanda and Scott have given me their cash for their tickets, but I'm not collecting money from anyone else. I just took cash from them because they were at the event with me in order to pay. I highly recommend reaching out to Kevin Jensen. But on that note, I want to introduce you guys to Eric Estrada. Now, Eric's been on the team for about 4 years. He's been a coach officially for 4 years in this business. And in fact, he's had some ups and downs with me throughout the last 4 years. I can be honest with you. We've had some good conversations. We've had some really rough conversations. You know, sometimes it's we haven't always seen eye to eye on how to build this business. And sometimes some things actually have helped him grow, though, going off on his own and seeing what it's like out there. But either way, I want to introduce you guys to Eric. And then later, after Eric's done sharing what his experience from GoPro was, which is going to have Pitbull, Tony Robbins, Eric Warre, as well as the top earners in the industry-wide network marketing. After that, we're going to also have Scott speak as well. So for those who don't know Eric had completed Insanity. He had been a coach of Jeremy Hamilton, and he's had a journey in this business. So on that note, take it away, Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Eddie. Really like to talk too much, but as it is, my experience with GoPro actually was a wake-up call to me. Yes, I've been here for 4 years approximately, and everything I learned from there, it was told to me many, many times. And now I see the true reality of it. So to be successful in this business, you got to get out of your comfort zone. Use the fear that you have to make things happen. Because if you stay in that little box of fearness, you'll never be successful in this business. Eddie has said before, do everything, that you learn. Read as much as you can. Learn from the top earners, because they're telling you things for a reason. One thing I learned is to develop the mental toughness and take charge. Develop that million mindset. And because if you don't have that developed, you ain't going to go nowhere at all. I failed many times, and now it's time to change it. And if I develop that mental mindset, I know I'm going to be successful in this business. have a skill. Get the skills that you must master to be better in this business. The other thing is the right strategy. Learn how you will gain more people in your business. And that's where everything comes from, by learning, reading books, use the example that everybody tells you to do. You gotta let go everything that you fear. Have a vision and have passion for what you do nowadays. If you see the big opportunity in this business, keep that vision, because that vision will get you far enough to get where you want to go. Set a game plan. Do it the right way. I know everybody said it last week that don't advertise too much of the product, because you don't want to burn people up. I've been there, done that, and I learned from there the hard way. How can I say it? Like I say, you have to have passion for it, and believe in yourself that you can do it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, there's nothing you can do. So you have to have belief. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Whatever gets in your way, just move it on the side. Use that negativity and just keep moving forward. There's another thing I was going to say. Fear. I don't know if I already said it. Use that fear to move on. Because if you believe in the product, you believe in the business, you can go far enough to get where you want to go. My goal from now in 6 months is going to be that I want to hit diamond and above. But it will take time and effort, and I have to fight hard for it. And for every no that I will get every day, I'll get a yes one day or so, because you always will get a yes after those no's. My reason to do this, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, because I struggle. I've been working 9 to 12 hours a day, and I had enough. And to me, this, like I said, was a wake-up call, and I'm going to make this happen, because I am just tired of working and making the dream for somebody else. Not too long ago, on September, I actually got injured at my job. And since then, my life has been a pain in the ass, a struggle, that to the point I can only do certain things in a day now. So my back gave up. And since then, my life is not the same. I have built more bad energy, more negativity in my mind, that I was close to give up again. But I realized that I cannot let that go. This is my only way out. And if I build it the right way with the right team, it's going to be an amazing opportunity. I mean, a dream come true. I'm going to work for my own. I'm going to work and build my dreams, be more comfortable, and spend more time with my family, and without being hurt. It's not worth it. I mean, we all have a dream, and we have to accomplish it. So I really don't know what else to tell you guys, but except that, don't let your dreams go away. Keep building them. as much as you can.
So, Eric, if you don't mind me asking, you have had some financial difficulty in the last year or two. Would you agree?
Big time.
This event was very much outside your comfort zone. You had to pay for a flight. You had to find a hotel. You had to find it. You had to make some major sacrifice to make this possible to go to. Would you agree?
I did.
And you know, the truth is you really haven't made a lot of money in this business in the last 4 years because, as you've learned a lot, it's been a lack of consistency, lack of being coachable, lack of different things. Would you agree?
Yes. And actually, not too long ago, I went through the files where when I first started and where I'm at now. And technically, I kicked my own ass because I was doing good. I saw things coming in my way. And for one thing that I just didn't, I didn't listen. I didn't follow the steps. I fell out of the wagon. And you got to listen. You got to learn from the best ones. And, practice makes you successful.
Right. So now that you've gone through this event, I mean, what would you tell someone who right now is kind of unsure about saying, maybe I can't really afford to go this. I'm going through some financial difficulty. I'm somebody who, I got the kids' Christmas going on. I got this going on. And, I don't know if I can afford to make it out to Las Vegas in November next year. What is your advice to this person?
I'll suggest in the same category that I am, if you're struggling, you can afford it. I mean, you gotta take I believe, how you say that?
A leap of faith?
Yes. So, and you will not regret it. I know time or money is tight right now, especially with the holidays, but don't let that put you on the side because you never know what you can learn or accomplish from those events at all. I mean, everything is worth it at the end. And to me, I know my money was tight. I could barely afford it, but honestly, it was money well earned.
Awesome. So in your opinion, would you say this is a non-negotiable for somebody who wants to get out of their position of where they're at in their life?
Yes, it's non-negotiable. I mean, you got to go for it. I mean, just go for it. Don't think about it twice. Just go for it because at the end, you'll be thankful.
Right. So, and finally, what is going to be the difference now that you've gone versus where you were at before in this business? Because I know when I convinced you in order to be part of the tribe, you had to get a ticket for this. And I told you all these different things because you and I have had a lot of arguments over the last few years. I mean, let's be honest. They weren't necessarily friendliest conversations sometimes because I was trying to show you a way and you just weren't necessarily looking.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, I think coming out of that event, it was kind of like a lot of the things I've been telling you over the last few years were pretty much what you heard there, and then some on a deeper level. What would your advice be to that coach who maybe, just says, Eddie's a little too rough, or Eddie's had some, and Eddie's pushing me to go to this event, and I don't know if I can make it. What would be your advice to this person right now? Because you've been on that side. You've been on the side of a tough conversation where you didn't necessarily like me. Let's be real here.
Don't feel pushed by don't feel pushed. First of all, they're telling you to do things for you to be successful. For example, if I tell you to read, you got to read because you have to get that knowledge in your mind and build that mindset to be successful. So by going to an event, it's even better. The knowledge you will learn from everybody who's a millionaire and so on is that knowledge you're going to be able to use it in the whole world. I never felt pushed by you. technically. So it was just me who have excuses. So leave the excuses on the side, open the door, and keep moving on.
Awesome.
Because at the end, let's say, for example, you invest in that event, your time budget. What if that event actually changes you, and when you come home, everything just turns around and you start building your business? It's going to pay off. And it's going to pay off big. In my point of view, it's going to pay off big.
Perfect. Thanks again, Eric. Next person I want to introduce to you guys his name is Scott. Scott, if you guys don't know, he's a lawyer. He's someone who's worked and had his own firm. Has been self-employed for many, many years, guys. He's somebody who joined this business because he believed in the products, and it wasn't necessarily about making money initially for him. This business was something about helping him keep attached to his goals and stuff of that nature. So on that note, I want to make sure I introduce you guys to him, and I want to have him give you his, because he's gone to a ton of seminars over the years as he's developed his business and his career, and he's somebody who could give you guys a lot of insight of what it takes. So take it away, Scott.
Thanks, Eddie. So, like Eddie said, I've been to a lot of seminars. Part of being a lawyer, you're required to go to continuing education, and part of that requires me to go to seminars and conventions almost every year, sometimes every other year. Sometimes they're week-long conventions. But needless to say, I've been to a lot of education events since I've been out of school. This was by far the best convention or meeting or seminar that I think I've ever attended. And if there's one thing that I could take from it or tell you that makes it that way, is it didn't just teach you how to excel in network marketing. It didn't just teach you skills for network marketing. It didn't just teach you skills on how to sell more product. It didn't give you just skills for or scripts for how to recruit more people to sell. This seminar was so much more about mental training and getting out of your head. It was so much more about what goes on inside your head. The message over and over and over again was get out of your head. Any idea that you have, if you give your brain a long enough time to think about it, it will kill it. We learned the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 go rule, and that's precisely it. Literally, you have an idea or you're going to go do something, just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 go. Otherwise, your brain will kill that idea. On night one, I've been actually posting a lesson that I learned from the seminar just from Saturday night, or just from Saturday. I didn't. I made a list in my journal and came up with 31 lessons just from Saturday alone. And there were some lessons obviously on Thursday night. There were some lessons on Friday, which was all day. This is an intense seminar. I mean, it's a lot of content, but it is well worth it. Next year, Tony Robbins is going to be there again, and Tony Robbins blew the roof off the convention center. I mean, I'm not really a night person. I prefer to go to sleep earlier, and Tony Robbins had us up till 11 o'clock at night, and I still couldn't go to sleep when I walked out of the place. It was just unbelievable. Next year, as Eddie said, Pitbull's going to be there. Brendan Burchard is going to be there. For those of you who don't know him, he wrote a book. One of the first books that I read in self-development was called Life's Golden Ticket. And it's actually a book he wrote after he had a really serious car accident and almost died in, I think it was in South America. And he's turned his life around and become the expert of experts. He runs the Experts Academy. He's written many other books, again, all designed to get you out of your head. But I don't know how much time we have, Eddie, but if I could teach one of the lessons that we got on Thursday night, is that okay?
Go for it.
Okay. So we all think that, I guess we all have some preconceived notions of what we control and what we don't control. And on Thursday night, one of the very first lessons, and Eric Worre taught this. Eric Worre is a wonderful speaker and a wonderful teacher. He taught sessions on Thursday night and also on Saturday night. He closed it out, and he's a wonderful teacher. So I haven't watched a lot of his videos, but he was amazing live. But so one of the things we talked about was, what do you control? And so we went through a list of what you control. And so if you want to write these things down, I would say, what is up to me is the question. And then here's a list of what's up to you. Number 1, my judgments. Number 2, my creativity. Number 3, my attitude. And attitude is an interesting one, because sometimes attitude is anger. And anger is only an attitude if you let or allow this to happen. My perspective, I control. My desires, I control. And an interesting caveat to that is, if you allow others to control your desires, you've given them the keys to your life. I control my decisions. Nobody can force me to do anything. And I control my determination. And guess what? Everything else, it's not up to me. And so those are the only things that are up to you. And if you think about it, those are pretty amazing things that are up to you. You have so much control over what you think about, what you're looking at, how you interpret things. If you want to stall and be in crisis, that's an emotion, being in crisis. You can do that, but you're doing it to yourself. And so if you're in a crisis or feel like you're in a crisis, you have to look for the positive. And one of the lessons that Tony Robbins taught was, when you're in crisis, or you feel like you're anxious, or feel like you're in a problem area, it's because of one of 3 things. You think that you're losing, getting less, or get none. And if you convince yourself to turn towards something that is positive, look for something that's positive in your life. And we all have things that are positive in our lives. It could be a family member. It could be a pet. It could be really anything that's in your life that's positive. It will turn your emotion around and turn your attitude around. And so for me, it was really interesting on that first night to be told, again, what I have control of versus what I don't have control of. And I'll tell you, I've got more notes than I could possibly ever go through in a night with you guys. I mean, literally every page in this book is filled with notes. I took notes as fast and furiously as I possibly could. I'll continue to post for the rest of the month, or until we hit that 30 days or 31 days of the daily lesson from Saturday. And hopefully I get some feedback from you guys as to what you're thinking about that. But it's definitely a gotta go to. It's if you're ever going to go to any education, this is it. I mean, this is just to get mental training. And again, I'm a lawyer, I'm a litigator. I mentally battle people all the time. That's what I do in my cases. But this mental training was over the top. I mean, it was outstanding. Is all I can say.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Scott. So, Scott, considering that you've done so many of these events, what would you say, because you've spent thousands of dollars over time going to different self-development things over the years, what would you consider the value that you were given here in this first time attending this type of event? An event that, honestly, let's be sincere, you said it, like, you haven't been really focused on your business, you've been focused on your practice, but how practical was the knowledge you took away from this event? What was the value you took away? How would that compare to the other events you've probably spent a lot more to go to in order to learn some tools? How would you rate that?
Well, to give you an example, I go almost every year to a trial lawyer convention, and it's about 3 days of education, and it costs me over $1,000 just to buy the ticket for the event. That doesn't even include lodging or anything else. And it's a very good event, and I do learn a tremendous amount. But at $350, they could charge you $350 a day, and it would still be a bargain. So $350 for 3 days, and it is packed. This is packed beyond what any of the conventions I go to. The one that same trial lawyer convention that I was talking about it's about 6.5 hours a day of education. I mean, my God, we got 6.5 hours before we even took our dinner break. And then we came back and had an evening session every night. I mean, this was like 6 days worth of education. It was amazing.
Awesome.
It's a bargain. $350 is a bargain.
And I couldn't agree on that. So if you could give any advice for anyone who wants to be successful in this business right now, taking advantage, when they're hearing this price for $350, what would you tell them would be the action you take right now, whether they're struggling right now, whether they're kind of unsure? What would you be, even if they're not really serious about the business right now, what would be your advice to them? Because, you know, what type of action would you recommend at this moment?
Do it. Just do it. I mean, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. Figure out how to do it later.
Perfect.
Just commit and do it.
Perfect. Thanks again, Scott. And Scott, you almost weren't able to attend yourself, considering the fact that you've had so much going on at your practice. And, you know, are you going next year, considering you've already experienced this once? And how would you say this has helped improve your business outlooks for your new current practice?
I would say this helps you not just in your business, but in life, which is why I think it's so amazing and so valuable. It's not just, you know, I don't go to every seminar just to learn about my business. I go to things to better myself. And I'm talking about self-development. This thing was just full of it. There was so much self-development in it. I mean, you got easily a year's worth of self-development in 3 days.
Perfect. I really appreciate that, Scott. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for making these posts every day in the group. I've enjoyed them, and I'm sure there's tons of other things and those sort of things. On that note, I'm going to go into my speaker view. So give me 1 second. So guys, here's where we stand, and this is where I foresee us over the next year. So we're coming into New Year's. Some of you guys have been a coach for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Heck, some of you guys even 5. Every day, I always say this, and I always talk about this. There's a day you signed up for the business, and there's a day you started working. I believe that some of you guys need to make that decision to go into this business, taking that leap of faith and betting on yourself, taking that leap and investing in developing yourself as a better person. And even if this didn't work out and come up to the energy of level of financial success that you wanted in the first year after this event, I believe this business is vital to going to events. One of the biggest mistakes I made as a leader is not sending you guys to these sooner. I was going to them myself, thinking, you know, $350, $500, $2,000 for Danny Johnson. You guys can't afford that. Now, I'm not saying go to Danny Johnson. I'm telling you, this is a vital aspect of growing your business. And if you want to create the life for you, your children, your family that you say you want to create, you're going to have to invest in some things to refill your cup. And I know a lot of us don't want to hear from me and stuff of that nature. And I totally understand. Hey, you know, and I could be wearing on people if you hear me for a while, if you're not taking the advice that I give. But I cannot tell you how important of the information is that you're coming out of this with. And you can say, well, I can find on YouTube some of these videos, or I can find some certain things. And I don't mean to say it, Scott, you've been listening to Tony Robbins over the last however many years. How big of a difference was it experiencing Tony Robbins in person versus enjoying him on your audios? Because you've spent thousands of dollars on Tony Robbins audios. Go ahead.
It was live. I think I came out afterwards and I said to Eddie that I've always wanted to go to one of his live events that are, 3 days or 5 days. And I said, I don't know if I'm in good enough condition to last that long and survive for 3 or 5 days. I'm sure I can, but I'd want to train for it, I think. I mean, he's just so energetic. I mean, we're all jumping on our chairs and I'm surprised the concrete's not cracked.
And I appreciate it.
It was unbelievable.
And it's almost like, to me, it's like you can watch something on TV or on YouTube, and then you can go and experience something in person. It's two totally different experiences. And I think it is
absolutely
vital for every single one of us to make that kind of commitment to invest in ourselves and grow ourselves. And at the end of the day, whether you grow your business or not, I promise when you walk out of this event, you'll say you've gotten your values worth of the time that you spent, as well as the person you're becoming after experiencing this. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, sometimes I get rough around the edges because I'm not going to these enough. And it really brings you back into perspective. So instead of waiting, again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hit up Kevin Jensen. I'm going to post Kevin Jensen's thing. Make the commitment. He only has so many tickets left, so not everyone on this call is probably going to get a ticket if they act right now, going to be totally sincere. He may get another 100 stack. He's debating on it, but don't look at yourself and say, well, I wish I would have not waited. I understand Christmas is here. You got the kids going on. I understand times are tough. And as Eric said himself, he has not been working over the last year in a lot of aspects because he got hurt at work. He has been struggling in his life, but he went to this event and he came out with a new refreshed mind for him. As you heard last week, you heard Cassie and Amanda give their experiences. Amanda, who was scared of flying and going through financial struggles, who decided not to pay a bill so she could make sure she made it to this event, and they still, you know, was able to catch up her bill the next month, find a way. Make it a definite investment in yourself. And on that note, I want to make sure if there's any questions for Scott or Eric about their experiences, if you guys can, type up on the bottom a question, and hopefully one of them can answer you. But I'm going to leave it with one last thing, one last major takeaway from each of them. And Eric, I'm going to ask you to start your video one more time. And I'm going to mute you. And Scott, I'm going to ask you as well. If you're to give one major tip that came from this event for your business, what would you say was the major tip? I'm going to let Scott go first this time. Scott, what was the biggest tip that you got besides the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for your business? What did you take?
I don't know if I can honestly give you one. I mean,
fire one. Just give us something.
There's 30 just from Saturday night or from Saturday.
Okay.
I don't know if I can give you one.
He's overwhelmed with like I said, there is over 120 pages of notes he probably took, because it's 120 pages in the notebook. I actually filled up a full legal pad of notes as well, and I can tell you that you will always be learning, and if you're not learning, you know, you'll be rotting, and you have to move your business forward. And I know a lot of us get a little frustrated in this business with our, you know, maybe we have had coaches quit, maybe we've taken breaks off. But the biggest thing that was impactful for me, the most memorable experience of that event for me, was when Brian Carruthers, again, last week, as I said, he went up to the microwave and he put in a bag of popcorn. And when he pulled out, he goes, how long should I set the microwave for? And it's like, you know, 4 or 5 minutes. And every 15 seconds, he would open the microwave. If it's ready. Well, he needs to say he was not going to be able to do that. How about you, Eric? Eric, what is the single biggest lesson you could tell every single person on this team that you took away from the event? Whether you've heard it before or, you know, it was just something that was a smack in the face. What was the one thing that you walked away and are like, wow?
How can I say this? You have a dream, go for it and accomplish it. Don't wait another day. Just go for it. Just don't be afraid of what no, because no matter how many no's you'll get it yet to the end. So just keep going, and never stop. Keep going just like a train with a lot of potential, a lot of power, and build that energy, build that dream that you want so bad, and just build it.
Awesome. And Scott, do you have anything left for you? I'm going to leave one last thing if not.
Sure. I mean, I can go on for hours.
Yeah, we're gonna try to cut this off pretty quick though. So, what was one last?
I'll give you one comment. So, you guys look around at people and you see them all talking about all the great things that they are doing. You see it on Facebook. You see all the positive stuff. But I can assure you, everybody has problems. And so, don't look at yourself and think, I'm not worthy because I've got all these problems, or I don't have something that allows me to achieve or something. I can assure you, everybody you look at, everybody you see, everybody you know, I can guarantee you, everybody on this phone call has some problems, has some issues that they're trying to deal with, has some something they're trying to fix in their life. We're all doing the best we can to do that every day, but don't beat yourself up because you're not perfect. Just enjoy the journey and enjoy the process, and just try to make each day a little bit better, and try to focus on the positive more than you focus on the negative.
Perfect. Thanks, Scott. And my last thing is this. This is a financial tip for you guys. And I want you to get an understanding of what the potential of the sexy term residual income is. The guy actually said, sexy term, 2 words put together that make them sexy, is residual income. And it's kind of funny he said that, but nothing you guys are probably doing in your life have the ability to pay you $500 for that single hour of work besides what you're doing in this business. And how do you mean I make $500 for that hour of work? Well, what happens is somebody joins your business, you approach them, you share with them. You might share your journey with them for a month, maybe it taking you a minute here, a few minutes here, talking to them, a conversation, to the point where you get them on that 3-way call and whatnot. And then you have that extra hour of work that's actually being done of income producing activity. And if that person signs up or not, if they do sign up, and we get paid on yeses or nos, remember this, because you got to go through a lot of nos to find the yeses. But somebody who signs up, okay, you got the initial challenge pack purchase, plus that residual that they're paying into your income every single month that you don't have to resell this person that joined your business. You also don't have to resell them, that person who, if they bought a challenge pack, resell them on it. You just have to support them in helping them get their goals. And at the end of the day, if, I gave the call example yesterday. Jonte's been on the team for the last year. Jonte signed up initially. He bought a challenge pack that paid me $50, $60. But since then, Jonte's turned into a team, and he's at one point, he's signed probably at least 20 coaches on the team. He's got enough coach count for Diamond, and he's got 9 or 10 coaches where he's placed in the business this month alone for that hour of work I invested in him, and maybe then the trainings, Jonte has about 12, 13 coaches. And he's in a position in my business where he makes me $36 a month, whether any of them do anything or not. So 36 times 12 is $432. I'm making $500 almost a month already just from Jonte having signed him up at the beginning of this year. It may not seem like much, but that's what's the beauty of our business. That hour work I invest in. Yes, I'm investing in training and helping his people grow, because of course I'm going to help my income grow. But that's why it's so important and pivotal to you showing up every day for that hour, for you reaching out to people every day on that hour. Because I'm having a feeling that by the end of the next year, Jonte's going to be making me $1,000 for that hour of work I put in, if not more. And there's someone like Kelly Germain. I had signed up a woman by the name of Sierra Frazier, who signed up this girl Naomi, who Naomi ended up turning into a few other coaches, who turned into Kelly Germain. And Kelly Germain has a team of 125 coaches, at least 125 Kelly coaches. She's in a position which makes me $18 a month. Kelly makes me $3,000 a month for that hour of work that I invest in helping close Kelly. $3,000 a month times 12. Kelly's team alone makes me $28,000 for that 1 hour that I invested in Kelly. And Kelly kind of runs her team herself. So I don't know about you guys, but one person has that ability from you consistently working through your downline, working with your team, working on training, finding new people, working and collaborating and connecting with each other. And you know what? Guess what? I put a post out there today, and it's just like this. Not everyone's going to understand the way you speak. Not everyone's going to understand the mission you have. Not everyone's going to have that drive and love the attention and the gift that you're giving them, because I consider this a gift. Not everyone's going to like me, and guess what? The people that are on the tribe team calls, whatever, they're the people that get me. They're part of my tribe. And you know what? Those who end up deciding to leave, hey, guess what? I wish you much success in everything you do. I love you to death, and I hope you find the fulfillment in everything you do. But I want you to remember that at the end of the day, you have to build your own tribes. You have to go out there, and it's part of you developing this culture. It's not Eddie's team. It's our team. When you become a diamond coach, Rafe could tell you, he became an admin. Kelly's an admin. Tara's an admin. Every diamond coach has had the ability to be an admin on our team and have the ability to grow things. And it's up to you to help create that culture and that working ethic. And again, I don't know about you guys, but I can tell you that hour I spent in helping close Kelly was one of the best hour investments I've made in my life, because she's turned into $27,000 a year for that hour. And I really don't do much for Kelly these days. So just imagine if you had 5 Kellys on your team over the next 5 years, what that would do for you. And some of you guys have Kelly in your downline, having that same potential to earn that $27,000, $30,000 a year, from Kelly and her squad from all the amazing things they do. And that's where the potential is. And I don't know about you, but think about what you could give your kids, how much easier your life would be for you and your spouse. Think about the different adventures you'd be able to experience, and think about how much different your life would be if you're willing to contribute and have gratitude. And, instead be like, you know what, I'm thankful for these things, and I'm just going to keep pushing and make things happen. And keep in mind that the reason why this has occurred is because people have been helped. Kelly's team has helped a shootload of people. And if you're not helping people, if you're not reaching out, if you're not adding people, you're doing yourself and the world a disservice. Real quick, Jonte, you could say something. I heard you want to ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely want to say something when it comes to every coach that's on the call. I just every Tuesday I do a coach call with my coaches. Every Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern time, which is on Eddie's time, that's 7:30 Central time. So as soon as they come off of that call, we go straight into this call. And I have some of the coaches on the call tonight. And one of the major things that I've done, and one of the major things that Eddie has noticed, is me and Eddie are partners in this business. He's not my boss. He said this a long time ago, and I realized this a short time after that. This is our business. You treat your business like your job. I have one coach that's on the call right now that's an Army Staff Sergeant, retired. She doesn't work a job right now. But as I told her tonight, since you're not working a job, treat your business as your job. Work hours like your job. You work hours with your boss at your job right now. They tell you when your lunch break is. They tell you when your first break is. Why don't you work your business like that? Self-discipline yourself to work your business like your job. And if you do that, if it's just 1 hour a day, like Eddie is saying, if you take that 1 hour and be persistent with what you're doing, you're going to reach success. Now, the biggest thing about what we're talking about is if you change your mindset to do the things that you need to do, period, and be the walking example to other people around you, success is going to come strictly off of that. Be the walking example. Be the proof of the product. There's no reason why any coach on this team has more than one box of Shakeology in their house right now if they're not giving it out and making that money like Eddie has proposed to us. You shouldn't have more than one box. I'm not the person that's giving out my Shakeology. I'm using it. I am the proof of the product. I got another box coming this week. I'm almost out. So I'm hoping it comes on time. That's what it's about. And if you can't start to be the proof of the product of your company, don't make the company come out of your mouth, because you're going to make yourself look like a fool. So with that said, I just wanted to make it known inside of here that I'm never going to think that I'm doing better than nobody on the team. We're here as a team to help each other get to these levels. Eddie know personally on my end, when I found my first coach, Eddie asked me, was I excited? And I told Eddie, no, I'm not excited. I'm not going to get excited until I'm making the same amount of more money than Eddie. And that means I'm going to have to work harder. I'm going to have to work smarter to get to the levels that I need to get to. So if that motivates you, if the words that's coming out of my mouth right now is motivating you, start right now. Don't start tomorrow. Start right now to be the best. Make the rest of your life the best of your life, as my man Eric Thomas said. Thank you, Eddie, for the time.
No problem, guys. I appreciate that, guys. We're going to cut the call off now. Thank you, Jonte. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Eric. Eric, I know this was a struggle for you. If you guys can't tell, he didn't necessarily feel comfortable with this. We're going to have the same call on Tuesday night, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.